What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video, and leave a comment. Today, I'm bringing back One Odd Mark from DMI. This is part two. You know, people wanted a part two, so here it is. I had to bring this brother back. There's a lot of things we still got to discuss. What's up, Mark? How you feeling?
I'm blessed, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you, brother. Listen, I want to ask you a couple questions because, you know, things kind of, we got a little off track. But I want to talk to you a little bit about the chick. Remember you talked about the chick that you hit in the face with the gun and you ended up going to prison over it and all that. How do you feel about that?
I totally regretted it, man.
Totally regretted it. You know, a lot of people were pissed off. You know, I know when you're in the streets, things happen. But from my perspective, man, we're men and probably shouldn't be putting our hands on women. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They got a vicious video out right now where this NFL player was like, ex-NFL player, played for the Rams, played for the Jets. I'll probably do a video about it, but this dude like just viciously pulverized his kid's mother, man. Threw her across the room, punched her. Did you see that video?
Nah.
Wow, I'm gonna send it to you, man, so you can see it. But yeah, I definitely wanted to clarify that so people know like your position and how you felt about, you know, what happened. But we're also going to talk about, I remember you said, man, I got this story, man, you know, some of the scariest things that ever happened to me. I want you to get into that. The people want to know what you were talking about.
Okay. So I'm up WCI, which is Cumberland. It's a maximum security jail. And I got about 5.5 years in on 10, no parole. And my cell buddy moved out. We were in a semi-honor building, so which means you get more rec a day. And my roommate moved out. My cell buddy moved out because he seen me making a knife my first day there. He was a Christian dude. I didn't hate it. You know, I didn't hate the fact that he moved out. You know, I understood. But so I go out to yard the next day, and I come back and I hear rock music blaring, like System of a Down. You know what I mean? Yell, you know, death metal. And I look in there. I'm like, oh shit, I got a white boy in my cell. I look in there. And there's this black dude, man, singing this shit, man. And he knew all the words. He's screaming. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So we're vibing or whatever. Make it a little bit shorter. We that federal indictment came down. So they put everybody who was flagged DMI, even if you weren't, on admin, but they kept you in the cell in a regular housing unit. Also, to start drama, anybody who was your cell buddy got put on admin with you until 30 or 40 days later. Well, this guy, he's been locked up since he was 14 or 15, right? And anyway, we're talking, we're vibing. He smokes a lot of K2, and all I did was drink at that time. So we're getting along great, man. We're playing PlayStation. So one night we just got done playing PlayStation. Him and I were on joke time all the time. So out of nowhere, he says, hey, Joe, fuck you. Or excuse me. No, he says, hey, Joe, you're retarded. So I turn around and tell him, man, fuck you, Ron. By the time I got that last word out, he's jumping out the bunk. He kicks me in the face. So I'm asleep. He knocked me straight out. So he 20 or 30 pieced me, man, woke me up. So we go 5 rounds in the cell. The whole time I'm fighting, it's just so weird. Now, mind you, but when he moved in, all his homeboys are telling me, man, get him out the cell. All the white dudes, all his homeboys, get him out the cell. And nobody would tell me why. So we go 5 rounds in there. Everything is destroyed. PlayStation 2s are on the ground. TVs are knocked over. Everything is trashed. It's like 2:30 in the morning. So nobody came or nothing. You know what I mean? The whole time I'm fighting. Now I get the picture on why they said, you know, move out the cell with him. The whole time we're fighting, I'm fighting for my life for real. And I just got, you know, everybody's telling me get him out the cell. Now I know his MO is to knock his cell buddies out and rape them. Come to find out.
What?
Yeah. So look, dude, I just got that impression when we started rumbling, when he knocked me out. I'm thinking in my head while I'm out, I better get the fuck up or he's going to take advantage of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, we are fighting for like, I lie to you not, it seemed like maybe 10 minutes. It wasn't all 10 minutes, but it was damn close. We went 5 rounds, man. He would tap out. I would start beating him, vice versa. You know what I mean? But, so everybody's telling me get out the cell with him. Nobody would tell me why. Come to find out after we got into the fight, everybody started telling me, yeah, we told you get out the cell. His MO is to fucking knock people out and rape them. He's been locked up since he was 14 or 15. He's the same age as me. He would show you pictures and say, hey, Joe, when I go home, this is my wife. This is my kids. He never had sex with a woman, come to find out. He's only fucked men, dude.
Wow.
So it was probably the scariest situation of my life, fighting him and knowing like he just kicked me out of nowhere and started fighting me out of nowhere. That off the break is insane. You know what I mean?
You thought you were all right with the dude, right?
Said it wasn't nothing I could do. You know what I mean? I had to fight.
No, but you thought you were all right with the dude, and then the dude kicks you in the head.
Yeah, straight up. He kicked me right here, man. He kept his shoes on all the time. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. When you started telling me about the scariest thing, I didn't think you were gonna say that. I thought it was gonna be something else, like a riot or something. Or you thought you were getting indicted by the feds. I didn't know you were gonna. It's just like, wow.
I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, dude, it was the scariest situation of my life because I know shit just don't start from nowhere. You know what I mean? There's always a motive behind something. You know what I mean? And for him to just strike out of nowhere, 2:30 in the morning, he was definitely trying to rape me, dude. These little kids that are watching, or any kids or anybody who hasn't been to prison says, "Oh, it's willing now. It's willing." I've seen about 4 or 5 rapes where it was not willing. You know what I mean? It'd be a little weak white dude coming in, no tattoos, or I've seen like mentally challenged people. Like I was up Cumberland again, and it's like 2:30 in the morning again, and you hear some dude screaming, get him off. We come out for breakfast, and we're on a heavy blood tier. All the bloods are running around the cell checking to make sure it ain't none of their people, because that's how many people, bloods is on the tier. So the kid comes out in the rec hall. You got to go in the rec hall before you go to breakfast. Man, he was still bleeding. He was still bleeding. Dudes pulled him up like, man, what's wrong with you? And he just turned around and he was still bleeding, man. His boxers were red, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen another white dude get raped. He owed a big dope bill where he's in there tattooing. I'm like 2-3 bumps away from him. 4 dudes just come in there, tap him on his shoulder, take him in the bathroom. Next thing you hear him, yeah, man.
So that
stuff is real.
That stuff does happen in prison, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But another situation that I wanted to speak on. Remember, we're talking about people or missiles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm at JCI. It's called the Cut Annex. It was a maximum 1, and they were transitioning over to medium 2. So I've been in the organization the longest of anybody on the compound. But a guy comes in and he's got permanent rank. You know what I mean? So a situation happened where we had 2 knives in the cell and 2 needles. So my cell buddy stabbed up an Aryan. So they come and snatch my cell buddy up the next day. I could only find 1 needle and 1 knife. So I flushed them. If I could have found all 4 of the items, I'd have flushed all 4. So they tried to say I was on some junky shit and didn't flush everything, and I was holding on to the needle for whatever purpose, right? So they sanctioned me. They beat my body, and I had to write an essay, and they sanctioned me financially, right? So in the essay, I get slick with them. You know what I mean? I put shit in quotations because, dude, they were sanctioning me for some bullshit. So being that he had permanent rank, he put me on the first thing smoking, so it was a big snowstorm in 2010. It was like 30-some inches, 36 inches or more, right? And soon as they freed the compound up for movement, there's this guy that comes through. Mind you, I didn't know none of this shit, that I'm on the first thing smoking or none. You know what I mean? So when he comes in, they tell him you got this rank and play him close. I already knew it. They told me that. that it was on. So we go to the gym that night. They say, yo, you got to hit him, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, because I knew where the blind spots were in the yard. I'm like, all right, let's do it in the yard. They're like, nah, you got to do it tonight, now. So I'm like, dude, JCI had cameras. There were no blind spots on the compound. I mean, it's like 100 cameras out there, bro, and they're so high definition they can zoom in and read your ID off your shirt. That's actually how they got me. So look, I'm coming out the gym. Mind you, they say we got to do it. I'm secondary again, though. They were putting another dude on it that's been fucking up for like a year. He kept coming out high, twisted, nodding down the rec hall, and they beat his body 3 times already. You know what I mean? So he's supposed to swing first. He swung 3 times and missed. So I grabbed the dude by the collar and I hit him in his neck, his back, and he took off running. So when he took off running, they're like, go get him. I got to chase this motherfucker. I chased him from the gym to D building. He had stopped running, I guess, because he didn't see nobody behind him. So he was just walking fast after he got through the first gate. I come up behind him. I grab his collar again. I hit him in his back 2 times, his chest, and then his face right here. When I hit him in the face right here with the ice pick, it must have locked onto some teeth or some gums or something. He fell. When he fell, one hand was in the building. Here comes a little dude that was supposed to hit him first, and he hits him in the building in front of the police. I got away. I backed up and threw my knife in the trash can because there was people coming in, so they really couldn't see everything going on. So they locked them up. They locked their 2 tiers down, C and D tier. I'm on B tier. So Maya, I thought I got away. You know what I mean? So the next morning they give me a pass to go get my PlayStation 2, right? So I go out the door. They just lock all the doors and come and straight lock me up. You know what I mean? So Maya, I got a ticket where it's saying, you know, I stabbed this dude. They followed me from the gym to the front of D building, and they read my ID on my T-shirt when I got back on the pod. You know what I mean? They said they zoomed in and read my ID off my T-shirt to identify me because I had a coat, a Big Ben with the fucking with the lapels pulled up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the dude who hit him, he got 10 years off suspended, but 18 months. They never pressed charges on me because they didn't see me visually. They couldn't see what I had in my hand. They just said I was striking him with something in my hand.
I want to ask you. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I want to ask you a couple questions about that, right?
Go ahead.
About that gang life. I want people to understand this. So when you talk about beating your body, that's a violation, right? They say, look, man, this is what we're going to do. We're going to discipline you. What does it feel like to be a man and have other men have to discipline you, where they take you in the cell and they punch the shit out of your ribs and your stomach or whatever they do, like kick you, beat you up? How's that feel, man?
It feels like shit, man. And at the end of the day, sometimes you get a violation where you can fight back. You know what I mean? That time when I got the violation, they told me I could fight back. But it starts with them holding your hands up in the full Nelson position. If you can get out, you can fight back. They put these 2 low-ass dudes on me, man. And I wasn't going to fight back at first, but they were just taking it way too far. You know what I mean? They're hitting me with everything they got, man. I mean, I'm lucky they didn't break my ribs or nothing. But at the end of the day, I ended up beating both of them up. You know what I mean? And they called, you know what I mean? They called it quits. But they beat the shit out of me, and it took me a while. I had the dude hanging on my back, and I eventually flung him off and punished the other dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, a lot of other channels don't ask people, you know, the questions that I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you something, right? I want you to keep it real. When they send you on a mission like with this kid, did you know why you had to stab this kid? Did you know the reason why?
They said he did a cowardly act. They said that he didn't ride with them when they went to war with the Bloods up Roxbury.
So that was a stabbing violation. You had to go stab this guy.
Yup. And come to find out, he's still in the organization, and he holds a position now.
Let me ask you this. In your mind, when you got to go stab someone that you don't know, is it easy to go do that? Do you think about it like, damn, I'm going to stab this dude? I don't even know this dude.
It's not an easy thing, but once you're prone to violence and you've done so much, it's not that hard either. mentally, I'm worried when I'm going on a mission like that. Mentally, I'm worried about, hey, I'm going to catch another charge. I'm going to end up killing this dude. You know what I mean? So that's the scary part. And when we stabbed him, they booked the other dude immediately because the COs witnessed it firsthand and got the knife. So I'm thinking that they're going to book me. At that time, I had like 3 years in on 10. You know what I mean? I thought they were going to book me and give me 20 years or 10 more years on top of my sentence. It's a hell of a thing to have that suspense in your life.
So you were willing to give up your life, man, for this gang. That's what you're telling the people.
Absolutely, at that point, yes.
Do you think that comes from being brainwashed, or what makes you make that choice, man?
I mean, listen, I practiced that. That was my religion. You know what I mean? When my mother killed my father, I had no family. I only had my grandmother. So at one point when I first came over, gangs were new to Maryland. If you go by the paperwork, it's a beautiful thing. But what happens is people manipulate it, and they do all types of underhanded shit. So the paperwork at the end of the day doesn't mean anything.
It's crazy, man, that a person would have an allegiance to dudes that are going to beat you. You feel like when you get in this gang, like this is your family. You read the paperwork. Oh, this is what the Constitution says. This is what we believe in. And then once you're in, man, it doesn't always seem that way.
No, it doesn't, man. And I haven't been sanctioned a bunch of times. I've only been sanctioned 3 times. You know what I mean? But I tell you what, the first time it was a dude. He became my cell buddy, and he didn't want to beat me, but he had to. It was a dude that weighed like almost 400 pounds, and he was not a small dude, and he was not obese. You know what I mean? He was fucking huge.
Do you feel like sometimes you're just stuck, you want out, and you can't get out because it could be your life trying to get out?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You listen, at 99% of the time, you were stuck. Once you take that oath, you were stuck. Now, some gangs called opening the gates. They open the gates up at some point, and you can leave as long as you cover up your tattoos and don't walk with the dudes no more or speak with them, or speak business about it. You know what I mean? But 99% of the time, you're going to bleed out to get out.
So when they give you an order, hey, man, go hit this dude. You got a couple of years left, and you're about to take possibly you might kill the guy. You might end up with a life sentence. You were willing to give up. You were willing to give up your life for the gang.
Absolutely, it was my religion at that point, man. That's what I practiced. I didn't go to no services, no religious stuff, no Bible, no Quran, none of that. That was my religion. I was willing to kill or die for it.
Man, that's crazy, man. When you get ready, when you're sent on a mission, right, and they say, hey, man, you got to go stab this dude. Is your adrenaline pumping? Is there any
Absolutely.
Is there any compassion? Or go ahead, talk about the adrenaline.
It's a switch, man. You turn that compassion switch off. You turn that morals and principles straight off, and it's you or him. You either do the mission or you become the mission.
It's a crazy life to live like that, right?
Absolutely, it's nuts, man.
Do you think that your situation with your parents, right? Your mother killed your father. How old were you when that happened?
I was about a year old, man, and I was in the bed.
And
I don't remember it.
But you grew up without parents, right?
Yes.
What was your life like with your grandmother raising you? Did you kind of like get a little bit older and just like, hey, I'm the man of the house. I do what I want to do type of thing?
Well, no, I had 3 uncles that helped raise me too. My one uncle was a big drug dealer. By the time I was about age 11 or 12, I knew all the weights, all the measurements, what drugs did what. And I started partying. I'm from an all-black neighborhood. The difference between my black friends and my white friends, my black friends didn't use drugs. The farthest they went was smoke weed and drink. All my white friends did everything. You know what I mean?
It's wild. So do you think that your not having a mother in your life, man, affected you and the decisions that you made? Did it make you harder? Because I love my mom, bro. I'm just keeping it real, man. Like, I love my mother.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean? Now, mind you, I met my mother 2 times, okay? This is another little story I'm going to tell you, right? I met my mother 2 times. I was back on appeal in Baltimore County Detention Center. And I wrote her a letter. And in the letter, I said, look, I don't want to bother you. I just want to know why you killed my father. Next thing you know, she came up on a visit. and it's the last visit. So we're in the visiting room, and we're in the holding tank. It was one black dude and me. His mother came in, and then another black lady came in and looked around the visitor room. I'm like, I know this isn't my mother. So next thing you know, she's walking my mother by holding her hand, walking her in. As she gets closer, I notice none of her clothes match, and she's got like, it looks like makeup run on her face, right? Well, when she sits down, boom, she's got a tattoo of a knife right here in the middle of her forehead. She had lines that looked like a jailhouse gun. It looked like rum mascara, but it was lines going all the way down on both eyes. It didn't match. She was certifiably crazy. So I said, look, I'm going to cut this short. I want to know why. I want to know why. She said, why what, Marky Butt? This is what she's talking to me. Never met me. So I said, why'd you kill my dad? Immediately, she was schizophrenic. She started talking to 6 to 8 different people in different tones, and different conversations. For 45 minutes, she talked to other people. So she was certifiably crazy. I told her, look, I'm ready to get my time back on appeal. You don't got to come up here. She came up the next week. Clothes didn't match. She had a gold roster hat on, a blue cardigan, a red shirt, and purple MC Hammer parachute pants with tattoos on her face, bro. Well, I've never seen a woman with just tattoos. I've never seen that. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, bro. I've been through some crazy shit.
Did it hurt you to see her like that?
Absolutely. And it even hurt worse to know that she was not criminally responsible, that she was a straight lunatic. You know what I mean? She had more tattoos than I have right now.
Do you know the reason why she killed your dad? Anybody in your family ever tell you, or was it just because she was nuts?
They said it's 2 stories. All right. I met her brother up Cumberland, which is my uncle. He's got triple life plus 30. He was a straight killer too. He told me my father was abusive. My aunt told me it was over drugs. So I don't know. She wasn't crazy when she killed him, though. She had postpartum depression, which is a hard thing to describe.
I know what it is.
Yeah. So you would have, like, all the viewers will have to Google what postpartum depression is. It basically makes a woman go nuts.
Let me ask you this. Who'd you spend Thanksgiving with yesterday?
I went to the gym, and I came back here, and I ate Thanksgiving dinner with the fellas in the house, the RA, recovery assistant, or residential aide. He made turkey and all that stuff. We all had one plate.
Was it good or no?
Yeah, it was banging, man. He can cook.
Were you full?
Yeah, I was full, definitely.
No, because yesterday when you had hit me up, you told me you were waiting on the bus, right, to go to the gym or whatever. And I didn't talk to you yesterday, but I felt like, damn, man, I wonder if this dude's got anybody to have Thanksgiving dinner with.
I don't. I really don't.
It's sad, man. But you know what, Mark? You can change that, man. This is your opportunity to really get your life together, man, and maybe someday have a family and be a father and be a husband. You have that opportunity, man. You're in the driver's seat, bro.
Absolutely. I'm trying to change my life all the way, man. I'm done with using. I'm done with that gang shit. I'm done with all that, man.
Is that what you really want, man?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. 100%, man. But I tell you like this. Everything I've done, being the situations played out the way it did, I'm not sorry for damn near 90% of it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I knew what I was signing up for. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was a little mystery to it because gangs were new to Maryland. You know what I mean? Especially a white gang. But at the end of the day, I did what I did. I can't take it back. So I don't regret a lot of it. You know what I mean?
You might not regret it, but do you have any remorse for some of the people that you stabbed?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially like, the little dude up Cumberland, he looked like a girl. He was built like a girl. He was 140 pounds, 120 pounds, soaking wet. It was rumors that we stabbed them on. Even the guys that they say deserved it. At the end of the day, now that I know what I know, did they really deserve it? I have no clue. So I definitely have remorse. The guy I stabbed up on the dummy mission I just told you about, he fucks with me still. You know what I mean? He doesn't say nothing bad about me. And when I went up for my ticket, he said I didn't do anything to him, that we were homeboys. So I can't hate him.
Yeah, we might have been all right at one time, but if you stab me, man, I think
It's on.
yeah, it's on site, bro. Whenever I see you, man, it is what it is, and I'm not gonna be friends with you, homie. You stab me, you know what I mean?
Nah.
Well, there ain't no fixing that. That's forever broken, man.
Right. Yeah. In your comment box, I was going through it, and one of the guys that said he knew me on there.
Yeah.
His last name was Lucky. He was one of my seeds underneath of me in the organization.
Yeah, he said he didn't like the interview or something, right?
No. This guy just said everything I'm saying is true because he knows me personally. You know what I mean?
There was a bunch of people that chimed in and said they knew you personally, and some dude said you were a gangster. One dude was like, I didn't like the interview. Like, I could tell he probably was a DMI dude, and he's probably mad that you're giving an interview, being that, you're part of Dead Men Incorporated or whatever.
Right. I used to be. Yes, I used to be.
Are you glad? Are you glad you're done?
Absolutely, 100%. I'm not looking back either. You know what I mean?
So, Mark, man, for real, I see, man, you're going to the gym. You're at a rehabilitation type of halfway house. You're trying to get your life together, man. Tell me, what is the one thing that you hated about prison, bro?
Man, really, that your freedom, man. That you listen to somebody all day. You take orders from not only whoever you're involved with, but the COs run that shit. Whatever they say is firm. You know what I mean? There's no getting around. They tell you, hey, lock in. You lock in, or you get maced and tased.
I hear you. So listen, I want you to give a message to your younger self, to kids, man. I want to hear what your message is, because you're in the beginning stages of changing your life right now, right? And there's a road, and you can choose whichever turn you want to choose. You're at that breaking point right here. Either you're going to go right or you're going to go left. What is your message, man? What would you tell your younger self, man?
Don't join up. Stay to yourself. Them people don't care about you. They will ruin your life.
They will ruin your life, man. It's not a life that you want to live, especially if you want to be a man. You don't want other people telling you what to do, right?
Absolutely.
So look, man, I'm going to close the show, let you know, man, I appreciate you coming on again. I think we answered some questions. People wanted some answers. And, hey, man, I'm here for you, man. Reach out to me if you need something, man. I mean that, bro. And I want to see you do good, and I want to stay in contact with you because I want to know what's going on with your life, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm going to close it. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Until tomorrow, we're out.